I used to be a freelance developer. I used to work for one of the biggest Russian IT company. I used to be engineering manager at non-tech, and I realized that changing companies looks like dating. Every time I tried something new, different from my past experience, every time I did and didn't like certain things, every time I learned something about myself and about my preferences, and every time I made a better choice. So I started to work at Freelance when I was studying at university to get some money and some experience. I was working with PHP and MySQL. I was adapting WordPress and Drupal templates using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So basically, I was kind of a full stack developer, independent and with flexible working hours. But I have to say it was mostly night hours because I was still studying at university. Luckily for me, I didn't have big projects those times because it was really hard to estimate how much time it will require for me to complete the project and how much time I need to learn something about things I didn't know. And even I had the freedom to choose technologies I want to work with, I didn't have time to learn them because of my education. And also I've been primarily working on the small websites building on top of existing content management systems like WordPress and Drupal, so I didn't actually have this freedom. If I look back, I want to be honest, I didn't like freelance. I didn't count on freelance as my future full-time job because I felt like really important part of my life, earnings prediction, is actually beyond my control. I didn't know will I have any projects or not. I didn't know how much time they will take. I didn't know how much money can I make out of them. So I wanted to work for a company. I wanted to have some confidence and stability. Also, I didn't have anyone to cover my back if I'm sick or want to go on vacation. And also I didn't have anyone to learn from. Everything I learned those times was just by Googling. So I was kind of open to start my journey with the company. The first company I joined was a travel agency, really small one. We were just two engineers working with the same technologies, PHP and MySQL. Basically, it was super close to freelance experience. We've been adding some new models for existing website, like search models, for example, for travel agency, and just evolving existing website, nothing more, nothing special. So I decided to make my next move. The next stop was on Web Studio. We were 6 backend engineers building our own content management system, similar to what WordPress and Drupal, and also implementing and building websites for customers using this CMS. I like this journey, to be honest, because I also did learn many things about how to build scalable applications and reusable ones, also how to build some frameworks and libraries, but the scale was still not that big as I wanted. Also, I wanted to have some customer impact, so to be able to see that people are actually using what I'm building and enjoying it. So next step was publishing house. Those times they had 6, as far as I remember, 6 web services, web projects about beauty, health, education, and some others. And I've been working in a team of 3 engineers, also evolving the existing system, but also adding some new features. One of the things I built there was direct messages, like internal messaging system between registered users. So that was something where I first time of my life designed something from the beginning and implemented. And another thing which I really liked, you can see it on the screen right now, these fluffy animated emojis. So people really loved them, and I finally felt really connected to what I was doing. I finally saw my impact. But I wanted something more challengeable, more bigger, more people to work with, more complex. So I got in contact with the recruitment team of one of the biggest Russian internet portals. It was so interesting to get this job. I really wanted it, and also it was prestigious. I cannot lie about this. I prepared really hard to get this job. I was reading about databases, I was solving some puzzles, I was learning about transactions, and I was learning the SQL syntaxes. So I got to the office for the interview, and my future manager showed me the office, and was so different from what I used to sit in, what I used to work in. It's basically few floor buildings full of the people with kind of half open space, like big rooms where people were sitting together. They had meeting rooms, kitchens with some snacks, and many people around, many engineers actually. So obviously, once I got an offer, I accepted it and joined the company. I joined the company as full-time intern because I was still studying. I was at the last year at university, so I was finishing my thesis and diploma. And I joined the money department. So I've been working with people who are into payments, money, and money movement. Thanks to my manager, those times I was able to combine my full-time work with education. Anytime I needed to go for lessons or to meet with my professors at university, I was able to do it even during work hours. Basically, I arrived at office around 7 a.m. I left office around 11 p.m. just because outside of working hours, I was studying. And I spent there 4.5 years working together with a team of professionals. We used Jira as task-taking systems. We had Git. We even had code reviews. That was so different from freelance experience for sure. And I was building the anti-fraud system, the project I'm still really proud of. And eventually I got a promotion to a senior lead engineer in the team, but I didn't get any salary increase. So I was quite disappointed. Also, our team didn't have any new upcoming projects to work on, like to design and build from scratch. We were at the stage when we evolving and maintaining existing services. So I decided to look at the market. To be honest, I didn't work hard to find a new position, a new job for me. I updated my CV on the local job site, and I was just reviewing messages. One company caught my attention. I don't even remember why, but they were offering some kind of engineering manager role. I have to say, in Russia, there was no such thing as engineering manager as, for example, in Uber. And looking back at my experience, I would say it was a combination of engineering manager and technical lead. So I've been interviewing and hiring people, building and growing the team. I've been talking to customers, understanding their needs, making high-level design and architecture, but I didn't write any code. It took me some time to decide whether I want to join this company or not, because from one side, I had this amazing, famous, prestigious company with so many smart people working there, with a great office, like we had our own gym, vitamin bar, and private parking, nice events. From another side, there was a company where I can build my new skill set and try myself as a manager and learn something new, but also get some salary increase. As far as I remember, it was like 1.5 salary increase, so it's pretty huge. But it was a non-tech company. It was a small enough company. It took me like 2 weeks to decide, but eventually I made my move. And when I joined the company, the first challenge I faced, I was the youngest person in the team. So basically every engineer, and it stayed the same later, every engineer were older than me, and our customers, Ministry of Finance of Russia, they were like 2-3 times older than me. So it took me quite some time to prove my expertise and find the best way to work with them, because they were not our end users, they were just customers. I grew the team up to 5 backend engineers, 2 front-end, QA, DevOps, system analytic, project managers. So that's something really significant in my career. And one of the things I'm also really proud of is a mentorship. There have been 2 engineers who joined, who switched their jobs basically at their 30s, One of them was working for gas company in Russia, nothing to do with IT, and another one was electrician. And both of them grew professionally really fast. And as evidence, 2-3 years later, they both worked for Yandex. That's another big three IT company in Russia. Unfortunately, company didn't have any plans for future expansion of development side. Basically, primary focus of the company was to integrate existing security system solutions for external customers, and we didn't have too much things to build. Plus, we also didn't have ability to choose technologies to work with because we were building services for state-owned companies, and there is certain limitations on which databases, languages can you use. We also were not able to compete with Big 3 IT for developers on salaries, on perks, which company could offer. And last but not least, I wanted to move to Europe. So I chose Netherlands because of many reasons. One of them is English as a living and working language. Also, people were really nice here, like work hard, play hard. Salaries, I was also considering Germany and Austria, but it was easier to get job here. It's better paid, thanks 30% ruling for this. And also I didn't need to know German, like many companies actually in Germany and Austria requested this skill. When I was preparing for interview, I got in contact with many recruitment teams, in-house and external. I was trying to find the best place for me. So I was researching about companies. During the interview, I asked them about culture and general work and projects which they will have in near future. I remember there was quite a lot actually companies in Amsterdam who were looking for engineers with specific language knowledge. I remember one interview when I told the interview, like, I don't know Scala that well to answer your questions. So if you're looking for someone with such deep knowledge, we better just stop and save some time. In other companies, I didn't like people, which I was talking to and which I supposed to work with. So there was obvious no match. And one of the company who had open position was Uber. Uber those times had payments software engineer position, which was always matched with my past experience in Big 3 IT. And fun fact, Uber website didn't allow me to submit application without VPN. Okay, I went through and I came to the hardest interview process ever in my life. So we had 3 or 4 phone calls with recruitment team. I had telephone phone screen on the architecture and coding side with 2 engineers. I had 6 on-site interviews, like 2 coding, 2 architecture, and 2 behavioral, also 2 engineers each. Basically, I flew from Moscow to Amsterdam just for 1 day to attend the 6 interviews, and I felt so much exhausted at the end of the day, but I did really like people. It's like everyone was super nice, friendly, and helpful, so I felt really connected to them, and that was one of the reasons why I chose Uber. Actually, I had 2 similar offers in Amsterdam, and I made my choice because of the people. If I look back, Uber is very different from any other company I used to work. It's a big international company with a clear focus on technologies. I'm working right now with the smartest engineers I have ever seen in my life. We have access to most powerful technologies. We are able to make a huge customer impact. But from another side, we are working hard. Our service running 24 hours, 7 days in a week, and we are on call for them. So sometimes we need to wake up during the night and fix or mitigate the issues. But that's the price we are paying for being able to make customer impact. I guess I found what I was looking for, like 4 years ago. Stability, great company, great engineers, really great friends. Ability to make customer impact, ability to change teams, to work in different areas, ability to try different skills and technologies. and also good benefits. Why not? That's quite important. I've been trying different careers, companies, roles that all made me a better engineer, but most important, it helped me better understand what can make me swipe right on my future role. I have kind of checklist right now. So if I feel like I need a change, I start to look at the market. Consider different companies. Maybe they have something interesting for me, like technologies, project, role, arrears, no, anything. I also try out many new things. How else can I learn something? Last but not least, and maybe even most important, I took a time to interview company when I'm on my interviews to get know better people and the culture in the company. It's not a Tinder, but it should be much. Thanks everyone for walking with me through my journey, and let's keep in touch.